Thank you again for coming to MichaelDThomas.com. I am Michael Thomas. I am your host. This is my second recap, and like the first one, I just used this time to talk about what happened last month, what's going to happen this month, and just give you all a general vibe as to how things are going. Like always, like before. I want to thank everybody. I want to start off by thanking some people. I want to thank first McGeek. Too Cold Kim Kim has given this blog URL out 897,432 times. Then McGeek has given it out 138,016 times. So I appreciate her for that. Thanks to Janelle for sending me a really nice email talking about how she was referred by McGeek and telling me that she had passed it out to people that she knew in several other states. So it was really cool on her part. Thank her for that. I want to thank my sisters, Smooches. CJ and Mayo, thank them for, I saw them at a birthday party a few weeks ago, and they were talking about how they read and talking about some of the topics, so that was kind of cool to have that discussion. I want to thank Shani C, my other sister, just because I'm thanking my sisters and I have to include her in that. So thanks for that. It's weird when I look at the stats, and thank everybody for viewing. When I look at the stats, it's funny how comments have kind of declined, but readership is going up. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but if you don't feel like commenting, hey, I appreciate you for reading. So that's really cool, and it's nice to know that the numbers are increasing, so people are telling other people, and everybody tell like 517 people, and I'll be happy for now. But I want to thank everybody for that. I want to move on and talk about this past month. It was a good month, a busy month. Started off by going to Jamaica, and that was really cool. Special shout out to the Queen and CEO for that. Went to a destination wedding, and I had never been to one before, and I see the appeal. It weeds out the people that you don't want there, and it gets to the core, and you don't have to pay for as many people to eat. It's fascinating. But I really had a good time at that. So that was the start of the month. The end of the month was pretty cool. I was out every night last week going to see things. Some of them I'll be writing about in the next couple of days. Some of them I won't. Like this, A Long Day's Journey into Night. I went to see this last night, and usually I'll write about something if it's funny, even if it's bad. This was bad and not funny, which is worse than anything else, because it was just 3 hours of boredom. So pass on that. Also went to WrestleMania Access. And I won't be writing about that, but that was funny. And this is a good segue. Things that I don't write about, I talk about on Twitter and Facebook. So if you're not my friend on Facebook, become my friend. And if you don't follow me on Twitter, follow me, Michael_Thomas. The links to Twitter and Facebook are on the right rail. I think I got that right and left thing right this time, so check it out on the right rail. Follow me, friend me, all of that good stuff. So, like I said, I go to a lot of things. I write about some of them. I only write 2 to 3 times a week, but yeah, follow me to get my views on other things. And just so you know, I don't do the spam thing, so you won't follow me or friend me and see things like, I'm not having a good day, or I'm hungry, or I'm tired. The reason I write this blog and the reason I tweet and Facebook and all of that stuff is because I see myself as kind of like your guinea pig. So it's like I go to shows and write about them because when that play or when a concert comes to town, you need to know when it comes to your town whether you should see it or not see it. So I try to put you up on things like that. And when I go to restaurants, like this was Restaurant Week in Atlanta, is to let you know that when you come to Atlanta, which you all should do, and it seems like all of you have, because everybody's always coming to Atlanta, this is where you can go, this is what you can do, and things like that. So I'm never just saying things just for the sake of saying them. I'm always saying them with you to keep those things in mind. And when you are coming to Atlanta, hit me up. Just let me know what you should do, and I'll give you a guide. Let me be your tour guide. I'll tell you where to go. I'll tell you where to eat, things like that. So that's pretty cool. So keep that in mind. Follow me, friend me, do whatever you have to do, and all that good stuff. So it was a good month. Ended in Restaurant Week. Started off in Jamaica, and April should be pretty much the same thing. This first week is Hotel Restaurant Week, so I'll be going to several restaurants this next week, checking out what they have to offer. Also, I'm using the passport again, and that should be pretty interesting. I'll be writing about that. And another thing that's happening in April, amongst the other things, is, and this is weird because usually when I go see things, I'll just put it out there and somebody will like take me up on the offer and go with me. I go to some things by myself, but for the most part, I don't. There's always somebody to go with me. There is something, a big concert by a big artist going on, and I cannot find a single soul to go with me. Nobody is interested in this artist, and it is fascinating to me. I'll be talking about that more when it happens. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but this should be something. This should be something. I'm really looking forward to it. So another good month coming up. Continue to follow me, and I'll keep writing 2 to 3 times a week, like I said. Forget that. Let me just tell you one last thing. The question that I get asked more than anything about this blog is, what does Old Mary mean? So let me try to explain it. It'll be kind of weird because some of you get it, some of you won't. Old Mary comes from Old Joy. Old Joy is a friend of mine, and she has this thing with Mary J. Blige that is too deep to explain. So one day a group of us were talking, and she was talking about Mary J. Blige, and at the end of her speech or whatever, she started silently reflecting, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, she just bursts out, "Oh, Mary." So we all just start laughing, and we took that as our inside joke. So it's like when we're perplexed by something, or when we reflect on something and it's just too weird, we just kind of like just say, "Oh, Mary," just you know, as a filler or something like that. So oftentimes when I write these posts and I reflect on them, it's like if a place sucks or something and I'm thinking back on it, on how bad it sucks, I'm just like, "Oh, Mary, that sucked." Or if I'm talking about these things between the men and the women, and I get to the end of it and I just read it back, I'm just like, "Oh, Mary." And sometimes I'll put little comments after the "Oh, Mary." But that's basically where it comes from. I hope that kind of explains it. For those of you that asked, and many people have asked, some people have even sent me emails asking. But yeah, that's just what it is. It's just like when you kind of like, when there are no more words to say, it's just like, "Oh, Mary." So that explains the "Oh, Mary" thing. Again, that's my time. Thanks again for checking it out. Thanks again for checking out the blog. Thanks again for following me. Some cool things coming up in next month. In the next couple of months, I'm coming out with a partner site that focuses more on entertainment and allows you to be a part of it. So just stick with me 2 to 3 times a week, and that's it for me. Bye. See you next month.